Right, quick video on Atom then. Again, another request. So I thought I'd have a quick look at it myself, and I can tell you now that personally, I don't really like the look of it. I know we're having a bounce on it here, and I think the only reason we're having a bounce there is when we look at the Satoshi value here, we've actually bottomed out. We've created a new bottom here. Our previous bottom, our previous low was actually here around 4,764 Satoshis. We actually did find support there, but we broke it a little bit further to the low. But when we look at these sell-offs here, we're talking Satoshi value here. We're trending pretty much beneath all the moving averages, and Bitcoin is falling, and it's dragging this down with it. And we look at the tether pairing. Again, we are having this bounce, and I imagine this bounce has been created because we found we found resistance on that bottom Satoshi. We see the same story with a lot of coins actually, being brought right down to its bottom level with its Satoshi pairing, with its Bitcoin pairing, and finding a bounce. But I think there might be further to go with this one. But the whole thing is dictated by Bitcoin. I know it's frustrating for me to tell this to you and anyone who's listening, expecting me, or anyone really, to be able to work out what the hell's going to go on with Atom. When we're talking about solely on charts, this is a no-go zone for me. And I'm not a financial advisor, so feel free to do whatever you want, but I don't fancy it. This could have been a nice bounce here, only because we bottomed out here. But I think Bitcoin is, if Bitcoin falls, we're going to fall with it. And it's the same story, I would say, with a lot of coins. You've got to watch and wait and see how much further this goes on its Bitcoin pairing in compared to its Tether pairing. If Bitcoin were to fall, let's just say down to 10,000 or more, we've got to see where the Satoshi level at that point goes to. If the Satoshi level is dragged down with Bitcoin, the Satoshi level would kind of plummet at the same speed, or worse, and we could be worse off. If the coin has any kind of significant strength to it, then we would see less movement on the Satoshi value, and less movement on the Tether. And that's only because we bottomed out now. So hopefully, if we'll have to see how Bitcoin goes. If Bitcoin goes up, then we're going to go up with it. If Bitcoin goes down, we may not go down with it. We have to wait and see, because we have bottomed out. That'll give it some kind of strong support. We can see that is a significant support for it there. But the chart, if you were to look at this chart, just staring at it now, we've got lower highs and actually now a lower low. So whether or not you want to, buy here in the event that there will be, a rebound, which there may be, we're unlikely to make a higher high at any point soon. So it generally looks bearish to me. So just going from that, I would probably say it's not for me. The Tether value looks bullish, but Satoshi looks bearish. So it's all about where we find ourselves on this next Bitcoin move, and if the move brings us down any further than the support, it's certainly a no-go zone for me. Anyway, I hope that was it's somewhat useful. It's very difficult with these charts because there's very little to go by. So it's going to be a bit more of a gamble, really. Anyway. You're better off siding with the strong rather than going on a coin like this, I would say. And by that I mean, look at something like Bitcoin. Bitcoin's easier to work out. Where you don't know, but it's you go with the stronger coins, because if all this coin's going to do is mimic Bitcoin, why bother? You know what I mean? Why bother putting money into a coin like this when all it does is mimic its movements? That's all I gotta say. If you want to pick up other altcoins, there's plenty to choose from which move differently to Bitcoin, and have that in your portfolio as a diversifier. But I don't really see a point in taking a coin on like Atom, in the event that it gives a slightly bigger move. It could be a slightly bigger move to the up, could also be a slightly bigger move to the down. So you might as well side with the strong and go with something like Bitcoin or Ethereum. And if you want to diversify a little more, then do something like I don't know, you can even go XRP or Matic or something like that. Chainlink, something that moves differently, just as a diversifier. I wouldn't bother with a coin like this. Anyway, I hope that's useful to you, and stay tuned for more.